Welcome to The Explainer. I'm so incredibly thrilled you're joining us today because, well, we're looking at one of the most astonishing, radical moments of total surrender ever recorded. We're going to unpack a massive, ancient, multi-million-dollar bonfire. But more importantly, we'll break down exactly how this ancient text challenges our very modern concepts of personal safety nets. Let's get right into it. Right off the bat, the text confronts us with a pretty heavy, piercing question. Are you still holding on to remnants of your past? It's a profound psychological dilemma, and it's actually the exact same dilemma a group of ancient believers in a city called Ephesus had to confront head-on. And the way they answered it? Well, it essentially changed history. Okay, let's dive into this. We're anchoring our explainer today in the historical text of the book of Acts, specifically chapter 19. The text actually notes that many brought their scrolls together and burned them publicly. This incredible event is happening right in the middle of a massive spiritual and cultural revival breaking out in the city of Ephesus, among both Jews and Greeks. A profound shift is literally altering the culture, and it all culminates in this colossal fire. To really grasp why they burned these scrolls, we got to understand the text's radical definition of total surrender. You see, in this historical context, the call to follow Christ wasn't presented as just some simple add-on to your existing life. Not at all. It required letting go of everything else a person had ever relied on for security, identity, and belonging. The text is describing a total surrender by faith. That meant actively trusting that Jesus alone was enough to save and satisfy them. But here's what's really fascinating. These Ephesian believers didn't actually surrender everything right away. Human nature makes us hesitate, right? Many of them, even after adopting this new faith, were actually still secretly holding on to remnants of their former lives. Specifically, it's highly likely they kept their expensive magical scrolls hidden away as a sort of safety net. They were kind of unsure whether this new path was truly sufficient, so they kept a backup plan, just in case things went wrong. Now, the Ephesian Christians probably didn't see the problem right away. They figured they could hold on to both their new beliefs and their magical backup plans side by side. But then, a shockingly dramatic event happens in their city. Picture this: 7 men running naked and bleeding down the street. Literally. It was a chaotic, intense encounter where some local exorcists messed with spiritual forces they simply couldn't control. This wild, bizarre event acted as a sudden catalyst. It instantly opened the believers' eyes to the profound reality of spiritual power, and they suddenly realized the very real danger of a divided loyalty. And this brilliantly illustrates the definitive choice they suddenly found themselves facing. Either Christ has power or their magic does. You absolutely cannot have both. That dramatic event with the 7 men completely shattered the illusion of their comfortable safety net. It forced them to make a definitive, binary decision about who and what they were really going to trust moving forward. So they make their choice, they confess their past practices, they turn fully to their new faith, and they gather up all these magical scrolls. And the absolute weight of this decision is just staggering: 50,000 drachmas. To give you some context on why that number is so mind-blowing, a single drachma was roughly equivalent to an entire day's wage for a worker back then. We are talking about 50,000 days of hard labor, all gathered into one single pile. When we translate that ancient economy into today's terms, that could be somewhere around $2.5 million. Seriously, $2.5 million. In a dramatic, unshakable act of devotion, they threw it all into the fire. The result is what may honestly be one of the most expensive and deliberate bonfires in human history. So the crucial point here is how this incredible impact on the city of Ephesus was actually achieved. It wasn't an accident. The impact comes from an exact sequence of radical actions. Step 1, confessing sins. They openly admitted their past practices. Step 2, renouncing publicly. This wasn't done in the shadows. They let the whole community see their change of heart. And step 3, sacrificing valuable possessions. They proved their absolute devotion by literally burning their old safety nets to ashes. And what happens when a community does something so incredibly radical? Well, verse 20 notes, "In this way, the word of the Lord spread widely and grew in power." This multi-million-dollar bonfire became a wildly powerful testimony to the transforming work of their beliefs. The watching secular world outside the Christian community saw this massive public sacrifice, and they must have thought, wow, they must truly believe this. It proved to everyone, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that their conviction was real. We've looked at the history.
We've looked at the $2.5 million flames. But the ultimate challenge this text poses to modern readers is this. What would that look like in your life today? If you were to have your very own Ephesian bonfire moment, what exactly would be going into the fire?
Now, we might not have ancient parchment scrolls of sorcery hidden under our beds today, but we definitely have modern equivalents. Habits, relationships, comforts, identities. Are there things on this list that you're holding on to? Things that maybe reveal a lingering, hidden doubt that you can truly let go of control? Maybe it's not a literal scroll, sure, but it is absolutely something you turn to for a sense of control, for comfort, or for your own self-worth when things get tough. At the end of the day, it all comes down to where you place your ultimate trust. When the storm hits, when the uncertainty creeps in, and when you feel like you're losing control, what is the thing you instinctively reach for? What's your safety net?